Hello and welcome everybody, it's Matt from Cardboard Odysseys. So, we're going to be going over Modern Horizons 3 deck that I built. It's a sealed deck, so the standard pre-release event. I just got back, went pretty well. I went 2-1, and my loss was to the most the dude had like a crazy sealed pool. Like it was like kind of skeptical on how like crazy this deck was. But you know, it is what it is. Either he got a really good deck, or you know, maybe he used some cards he had previously. But at any rate, the play boosters, in my opinion, are a freaking win. Like it is very, very good. Super fun. The power level definitely is higher, but honestly, it just feels really, really good to play. Yeah. So these 4 packs I will open sometime throughout the show, or throughout the VOD. And I also sprinkled throughout this this video. I will be putting in there's the codes that you get while you open pre-release. You get 6 packs of Modern Horizons 3 for Arena. I'm just going to be placing a card down, and it's up for you guys. Whoever first come first serve, whoever redeems the code will redeem the code. And I'll have I have 8 of them total. I got the hookup from people that didn't really want them or whatever. And yeah, so without further ado, well, I'll give a code now. Why not? So here's a code. Boom. I don't know if you want to here we go. Take a screenshot, pause the video, for Baba. That's kind of funny. So yeah, this code, boom, and I'll tear it up. Never will be seen again. There you go. So enjoy. And yeah, so the deck that I built is white, black, green. The removal this is all removal. This entire row here. And first of all, my first takeaways, these cards are insane. These MDFCs, the modal cards, like look at this. Like it's a kill spell on the front and then a non-tap land on the back. Well, it could be a non-tap land. We pay 3 life. But yeah, these things are I just count these as straight up lands in my deck. I didn't even count them as an actual card because I mean they're basically just a land. So there's this one here, the Razorgrass Ambush, a 3 damage target attacking or blocking creature. Did tons of work in the deck. This one here as well, Fell the Profane, 4 mana, destroy target creature or planeswalker. A little overcosted, but the fact that it's a land on the back and also has the same kind of clause, you can pay 3 life or enters the battlefield tapped. Super, super awesome, very flexible. I had Wither and Bloom, target creature gets -3/-3, and then I can give something +1/+1 counter. I had Wing It. Not necessarily a kill spell, more of a combat trick, but target creature gets 2/2, flying counter, and scry 1. I'll tell you what, scrying wins games, so it's pretty good. Thraben Charm, very versatile, very strong card. Deals damage equals twice the number of creatures you control to target creature, destroy an enchantment, or exile a graveyard. All 3 very relevant things in the set. Highly recommend. Argent Deus is a little interesting. It enters the battlefield 2 oil counters, and you can remove oil counters to exile another target non-land permanent. Its controller draws 2 cards. This is a kill spell for like a really degenerate thing on your opponent's side of the field, but also you can exile one of your own things and draw 2 cards. I did that about half the time, so pretty cool. Horrific Assault, this is just a fight card, and if you have an Eldrazi, you gain 3 life. Pretty solid. 1 green mana, not too bad. This card, very, very strong. Abstruse Appropriation, 4 mana for an instant, devoid. Exile target non-land permanent. You can cast it as long as it remains exiled, and you can spend colorless mana as though it were any color. Pretty strong there. And then, of course, I've got I actually pulled 3 copies of Breathe Your Last Breath. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, you gain 1 life for each of its colors. Very, very strong. Highly recommend running it. I didn't have a ton of card draw or value, but these right here, these cards, these are insane. Blood-Soaked Insight. So it's 7 mana, which is pretty rough, but it costs 1 less for each one life your opponent lost this turn. So if you swing in for 5, it's 2 mana. And then target opponent exiles the top 3 cards of their library until end of turn. You can play those cards. If a spell is cast this way, any mana, you can spin it as any color or any type to cast it. And what makes them insane and what makes them extremely playable is they're a dual land on the back. So I basically just contributed these as swamps in the deck. And I got to cast it multiple times, and it was very backbreaking for the opponent. Play their lands, especially if they have the fetch lands. I happened to exile the dude's card, and it was the 2 lands that I got. It actually worked for my deck, and I actually was able to go get lands. Like it's just pretty wild. 6, another insane card. It's a 3 mana for a 2/4 reach. Whenever it attacks, you mill 3 cards. You may put a land from among them into your hand. Pretty cool. And then also, it has, as long as it's your turn, non-land permanent cards in your graveyard have retrace. So you can discard a land that you get from this. This thing did crazy good work. Just very, very strong. Nice value engine there. And then Eviscerator's Insight, very good card. 2 mana, sacrifice a creature or an artifact, draw 2 cards, and then it has flashback as well. Very strong, very good draw. Quest for the Necropolis, a very strong value engine here as well. It has landfall, enters whenever land enters the battlefield, you put a quest counter on it, and then you can sacrifice it and reanimate it. Reanimate a creature from any graveyard, and it costs 1 less to cast for each counter on it. But active only as a sorcery. But this thing won me at least 1 or 2 of my games easily. Just reanimate on a stick that it makes it pretty easy to. I mean, it's fairly easy to do. So. Pretty cool. These guys here, I didn't play my first game, but luckily my opponent wasn't very good. I'm sorry to say, but like he was very new, and like I tried to be really nice, and without playing the game for him, I helped a little bit, but it was too easy. But either way, learning it was kind of like a test match because I learned that these things are pretty dang sweet. It's a big bomb. A 6/8 reacher for 7 is a lot, but you can cast a cycle it, draw a card, and you get an Eldrazi. Had 2 of them, and I figured these were kind of like mana fixing-ish, kind of. Like the cycling you get, it's kind of ramping. It's weird, but like because I have the reanimators, I felt like that was kind of like the this is a pretty good combo. These two quests and warp trackers, pretty cool. All right, another code. Boom. Pause the video, do whatever you want with it, and then I'm gonna rip it up, move on with my life. Somebody claims it, somebody claims it. If they don't, it is what it is. All right, so now we're into the creatures, I think. Yeah, just all creatures. Wampus Aberration, 4 mana for a 6/6 Trampler. However, if you don't pay colorless mana, your opponent gets to put a creature into the battlefield. Now, this definitely... there's enough colorless... As long as you have enough colorless lands, which I only have 5, but the Eldrazi tokens also help to cast it as well. So you can cycle, the next turn cast this. Very strong. These things are great. They need to be answered immediately. Very good. Colossal Dreadmask. I've got to cast this, I think, only once. I have 2 of them, but it didn't really... when I cast it, it didn't really change anything. I was already going to win. It was kind of overkill, but it's just a bomb. 6 mana for a 6/6 living weapon, 6/6 Trampler. And then you can, once that thing dies, or if you want to just move it over, you can just move it to something else to give it +6/+6 and trample. So yeah, just kind of a bomb. This was unfortunately my pre-release card, my promo card. It wasn't insane value, but it was an insane card. Just 4 mana for a 3/3 that when it enters the battlefield, search your library for any land, put on the battlefield not tapped, and then if you kick it, you can exile somebody else's land. Pretty good. Get somebody off of a color, especially in a limited format where there's not like a ton of fixing. Definitely could be valuable there. You got Faithful Watchdog, 2 mana for a 3/3 Vigilant. I did have somewhat of a modified theme and a 1/1 counter theme, so like I kind of leaned into that a little bit. This probably wasn't worth running. I think I was running more than 40 cards. I think I was running like 43, I think. But I don't really care about the whole 40 thing. And yes, I know statistically you should keep it to 40 and keep a theme. And I probably could have cut like one of these and probably the dog, and it would have probably ran better. But whatever. Next card here, Glyph Elemental. I had 2 of these. These guys are nuts. I don't think I ever bestowed it ever, but the 2 mana for a 2/2 and landfall, you get a 1/1 counter on it. Pretty insane. I did have 5 fetch lands, so... I'm sorry, 4 fetch lands. So it was very... it was actually like... It was pretty nuts. There was the one game where I had 2 of them, and then I was able to play a land and fetch land and swing 8, and I'm just like, this is just pretty good. Next guy here is going to be a retrofitted Transmogrant. This is 1 mana for a 1/1 artifact zombie, and then you can pay 4 mana, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield, tapped with 2 1/1 counters on it. This is a really solid blocker or fuel for that that card that you sacrifice your creature and then draw 2 cards. And then you can get this back as a stronger creature, and it's modified. So a little, like I said, a little bit of theme of modified theme. I didn't really have anything that had payoffs for the modified. I think I had like a guy that makes it your dudes have trample, but I didn't play it. Anyways, Dream Drinker Vampire, 2 mana for a 2/1 with lifelink, and then whenever 1 or more counters are put on him, he gets menace until end of turn. So you can make it this is kind of an early beater that just kind of trades for stuff. Nothing, this guy's not great either, but, And then lastly, I had these mandibular kites. 1 mana for a artifact equipment with living weapon, and it gives a creature flying and +1/+1. These are basically just in here for the flying, because flying wins games, so that's easy enough. I did get 1 fetch land, and it happened to be in the colors that I end up running. So Windswept Heath, which is cool. And then these landscape lands, these things are insane. They have cycling, which I didn't really care about that. Not in limited format. I don't think you're ever really going to have the 3 different color manas. I mean, maybe, but I never did. But the fact that they tap for colorless, which is really relevant when you have those Wumpuses, those Wumpets, those like 6 mana Wumpus aberrations, where you have to spend colorless. These really help, obviously, pay for that, and then also are mana fixing in a really big way. I had one for Forest Plains, which is really nice. I had one for a Plains Swamp, which is really good, and then a Swamp Forest. So I had like really all my colors, and I had a Nesting Ground because, like I said, I did have some 1/1 counter shenanigans, and I actually did use it a couple times, moving counters around, which was pretty cool and pretty awesome. And then the rest was just basic lands. I just ran, which I actually stole on accident. I meant to unsleeve these lands and give them back. My bad. Sorry, Mr. Cards and Comics. I'll bring them back one day. Yeah, 2 swamps, 3 forests, and 3 plains. Yeah, I got land screwed one singular time where I end up drawing, I think it was something like 7 cards in a row with no land, and I had 3 land and I needed 4. I was also stuck on green. That was one of my losses in my 2 of 3. Or best 2 out of 3. Luckily, I did win the next game, so I didn't lose that. But yeah, I went 2-1, and like I said, my only loss was to some really insane. It was a really insanely powerful deck. I think he went undefeated. I did have an Umbra man, or a Lion, or was it a Lion Umbra? It's double green, which is why I didn't run it. But that was like, it would have helped with the modified theme. I also had another Colossal Dreadmash, which I already mentioned, and then I did pull a foil Kozilek's Command, and I really wanted to run this. It's very versatile. It really helps when you have a bunch of mana, nothing to do with it. However, that double colorless restriction, I didn't feel like I had enough colorless lands or colorless sources to reliably run it, so I didn't. All right, so let's open the 4 packs. And then maybe I'll do another code giveaway. And hope you guys are pulling some good stuff in Modern Horizons 3. Honestly, this is one of the funnest draft experiences that I've had in a very long time, or sealed, I guess, but limited experience. Very fun set. I don't know why I'm showing that. But yeah, these lands here, these are so good, actually. In limited, they're wild. I actually foresee them being like pretty dang strong in the Zula or the Ulamek deck. I feel like you'll want to play them because they're fetch lands that get you the certain colors. All right, so we got Reefworm. This card was a bit of a blowout. There was a color combination with that, and there was a Morbid card. It was an enchantment that at the end of the turn, if something died, you got to populate, and then you sacrifice these to Slumgar, I think is the guy's name. And you get the 9/9, and then you populate, so it triggers the Morbid, then you also get to populate, so you get 2 9/9s, and you get a 9/9 every turn, basically. Echoes of Eternity, this is a really good version of this one. I like this one a lot. 6 mana. This card's nuts. It's probably like a $15 to $18 card. Pretty cool. Siege Gang Commander, nothing crazy there, and a Servo token. So all in all, I spent $60 on the entry. You got 6 packs, the pre-release event package thing, so we get to give you 6 packs of play boosters. But then you also got 2 packs just for playing, and then you got a pack per win. So I got a total of 8 packs. So 2 of these were just for playing, and 2 of them was for each win. Double landscape. How many landscapes are in this pack? Just 2? Urza's Cave. The Urza's Cave is a really solid card. I definitely would have played that if I could have. These cards are nuts. Basically, all the MTFCs are pretty insane. Necrobloom. Necrobloom's a cool guy. I think he'd be a fun deck to build around. Pretty cool. Evolution Witness. This card as a common is absolutely wild. I wouldn't be surprised if this was banned in Pauper. I haven't checked. I know that there was a cranial plating type card that got banned already. Ooh, and a shiny forest. Pretty cool looking. I like how all the Aldrazis in these lands are like kind of like peeking through. Eldrazi spawn. I wouldn't mind any of the Big Daddy Eldrazi. I hear those are going for a pretty good price. Uh-huh. Alright, so we got Ripples of Undeath. At the beginning of your pre-common main phase, mill 3 cards. You may pay 1 life and a colorless. Put a card. One of the. Yeah, not great. Obstinate Gargoyle. I actually had this in my deck, or I had this in my pool, but I didn't play it. And then an art card. Which, I'll be honest, that was a horrible pack, by the way. I'll be honest, when the art cards first came out, I thought they were cool. Now I'm kind of just like, what do you do with them, you know? Bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a mist. Even the signed ones, I'm just kind of like, who cares? You know? It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And Buried Alive. Ashling Flame Dancer. 4 mana for a 4/4. You don't lose red mana at step's end, and then whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, discard a card, then draw a card. If it's the second time it's resolved, it does 2 damage to each opponent and each creature they control, and if it's the third time, add 4 red. So some kind of like storm deck or something. Glimpse the Impossible, an interesting common, not terrible, and yeah, those packs were not great. I mean, the Echoes of Eternity was fine, but I think these packs, I don't know how much play boosters are going for, but I think the store had them listed for $10 a piece, so yeah. And for those of you that are watching till the end, we'll give you guys another code. MTG Arena code, you go to this code, you type in this thing, you pause the video, you type it all out, and boom, I know you gotta work for it a little bit, it's rough times. And then if you like, comment, and share, and subscribe, you'll have good luck in your next tournament. And also let me know, should I open this? I don't know. If I get, I don't know, five comments saying to open it, I'll open it. That'll let me know that people watch to the end and then also want to see it. So, yeah, talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching. See you later.